Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and welcome back to my N.A.R.D playthrough series. So today we're going to play page 59. This is a very special page. It's written by Dr. F.R.Berger, kind of a brilliant genius of Swiss drumming, who really introduced Swiss drumming into this country. John Pratt was a big fan. He even dedicated a piece to him in his Solos for Accomplished Drummers book, the last solo book that he wrote. It's called Tribute to Dr. Berger. And it's a great solo. That whole book is amazing. If you don't have it, you should have it. The tempos are slower, but it introduces a whole bunch of new types of rudiments that are different than a lot of the American rudiments. Stickings especially, you know, rolls with flams, all kinds of reverse flam and paradiddle stickings. Now, they've become kind of common now in this country, but back then it was like a foreign language. So if you look at this page, it looks really, really strange. In fact, I would say it's almost impossible to read unless you've grown up looking at that system. If you've grown up looking at the American system of writing rudimental music, then this is going to look very, very strange to you. So you see where the stems up would be right, stems down left. The way that they write flams is that little line in between the note. Stems up, stems down, depends. The rolls can be flammed. Most all the five-stroke rolls here have flams in front of them. And that sounds like this. You could play it wider, but I choose to play it pretty thick because a lot of the drummers, and by thick I mean close to the roll, a lot of the drummers I've heard play this stuff in that style who are experts on it, play it that way. So you can do either way. You can play it more open, and that would sound like this. As opposed to the way I played it when you first heard me play that solo in opening the video. So the dynamics are also written a little funny here. There's accents. All the accents written are marcato, so they're heavy, and the dynamics happen very quickly. So I think that they're trying to write out everything exactly how you're hearing it, as opposed to the shorthand that we use here, or that the N.A.R.D composers used. So it's kind of writing out the phrasing. So don't worry too much about those dynamics as far as, you know, getting from a forte to a fortissimo within 2 beats. Concentrate more on the notes that are unaccented, where you see mezzo forte or piano, and really come down there and just try to phrase it musically. That's always the best solution anyway for any of these. So today I'm going to play through all of these, and what I've done is I've transposed them. It's a funny word to use when you're not talking about melody, but I've transposed them so you can actually read them. And I'll put this on the screen because I can do that because I wrote it out. You can actually read them in the language that you're used to reading them, rather than this kind of Swiss drumming language. So you'll see here this first one, and I'll play this again for you. Each one will repeat twice, and you'll see where I have the repeat signs. It's a little bit unusual. I'll stop between each one. 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are like little street beats, okay? And I'm doing them all at quarter note equals 110. Even the 6/8 ones, that'll be dotted quarter equal 110. So the next one has a tricky little sticking that happens in the, let's see, 3rd bar that goes like this. You'll see it here on the screen. That's one of those reverse stickings that are very common in this type of snare drumming. Also, the second to last bar looks like this. That's a common sticking used in The Downfall of Paris, but with drags this time. Also, there's a typo in this particular piece. Instead of a 5 there on that quarter note roll, it should be a 9. So that is definitely a typo. You're not going to play a 5 on a quarter note. So let's try this one. This is number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you see that sticking. Very awkward if you're not used to it. So you're going to want to repeat these things over and over. The next one, number 3, has this same type of sticking. It's a little bit different in the third bar once again. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to number 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, kind of awkward. I divided this up into 2 pages, so we'll put the second page up here now. And number 4 has some Rudimenter written there. And they are, the sticking is the same that we use here. So we'll try this one at the same tempo, 110. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a tricky one. Again, stickings. That's what makes it awkward. Now we go into 6/8 for 5 and 6, and we'll do the same thing, the same metronome marking there. Quarter note equals, dotted chord equals 110, but we'll put on the triplet so you can hear that. 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's got that sticking in the second to last bar. So those drag and then a double, that's very, very, very tricky. And that's something Pratt uses in that book quite a bit. The next one, number 6, uses the same sticking at the end, but the beginning has these multiple rolls. So watch out for those stickings. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the hardest one of all of them. Those dynamics are very, very tricky to try to get. Again, you don't have to stress those too much. I'm trying to bring them out as much as possible. Sometimes I'm making my crescendos a little bit longer. Now, one thing to note in this particular piece, you'll see those 2 dots over that note. Those mean 16ths. So I hope you enjoyed this adventurous page of the N.A.R.D book. It's very different, and you definitely need to learn how to read this kind of stuff. So this would be worth studying, just so you know it, and so you could teach it to your students. Thanks.